Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another tutorial of filling in the gaps for when I'm gone for a week. So pardon my squeaky chair. I can't seem to figure out why it's squeaky. But we're going to be making some vellum based belly bands. So they're going to have a cluster feature on the top. I did one off camera. I did it this way, so it will go on the page. This measures 5 1/4, so it will go on the page this way, and big journal cards can stick behind it. I did do some gussets there just to make a little bit more room. We'll see how that goes when we get to putting it in the journal, but I just wanted to show you some simple layering where I used some lace, some scrap paper, some elements from the kit, and some vellum also to layer up and give some dimension, and some book page there. There's some, or music page, and then there's book page down here. So that's the one I made off camera. So we're going to make 2 on camera. And so let's go ahead and start with this one, because it's the one that I'm using the My Porch Prints kits, which is a little bit different for me. When I'm working with these really bright colors, it's a little bit harder to switch to more neutral tones. So, but I think it's going to be really pretty. So I've got a bunch of elements here. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with them yet. They are already fussy cut out for the most part, unless I decide to fussy cut those books out. I haven't decided yet. Got some scraps of vellum. So I printed these images on my thick vellum, very, very thick. I mean, it's just really, really durable. So we've got a couple pieces of scraps here. This is our belly band itself. What I love about these digitals, these are not from My Porch Prints. The fussy cuts are. Sorry about that. I did pick up another neutral sewing kit because I wanted to bring in some other elements to the project for that journal. So all of her digitals have the zipper going down the middle, which I think is really cool. You might notice I have the white border up at the top and bottom. That's because I do want to gusset this. If I can. If I can't, that's okay. I mean, it's really not that important. In fact, maybe I will just let that go. So let me go ahead and just trim off the bottom here and not do that, because it doesn't really, there's really no benefit to it. Because you can still put 2 to 3 cards, 2 to 3 cards behind this this belly band. So let me measure that now. So now it is 8 1/4, like it should be. So that is our base, and I'm thinking about rounding. Well, I don't want to round the corners because I don't want to affect those zippers. Well, I guess we could do the small rounding. Let's see. Let me test it on this vellum though. It can be tricky. Whoa, boy, butter fingers. I'm going to do the 7 millimeter and see. Yeah, it works pretty good for the thick vellum. I can't use, if I use a lighter vellum, I can't punch it. So let's go ahead and do that just to have something different. And I'm going to ink this up, and then we'll continue. There we go. It is almost noon and I'm still in my pajamas. I'm trying to get videos done before the trip. So, oh, I didn't get any other papers. Oh, there, where are my other papers? I don't have any book pages or anything. Hold on. What the what? That is crazy. Just a moment. Okay, I cannot find my printed digitals for that. I'll probably put it in a safe place, but I do have a few scraps. So let's see if we can use any of these. Otherwise, we'll just make do. Not sure what I did. There's really not much here. I guess that would go. So let's just get a couple pieces out. And then I went out. I was fussy cutting in the living room. So these are some images I found on my computer. They're from Sweet Pea Curiosities. And wouldn't that be gorgeous on there? Just that little edge. Be so epic. So we might not need any digitals in terms of the prints, you know, and I need to pull my cart back over. Oh my gosh, you guys, what is going on? I know you guys don't know, do you? Okay, so let's try again. So I am loving this though. Wouldn't that be cool on there? We don't want a lot of it though. So I'm actually going to cut it. So I had a little bit of challenge with the one going this way because you don't have as much space to do your cluster. So I'm hoping that this will go better. So that can be a great bottomish layer. It's a little bit, we don't want to be that tall, so we'll play around with what the height that we want. So let me go ahead and get some book page ready here. We'd want to put that on the bottom. I think I want to kind of get rid of this at the bottom. I'm just going to kind of make a messy cut here so it looks like that was on purpose. Because we don't want it to take over the whole image. Well, it's going to take over a lot of the image anyway because that's just the nature of it. But let me go ahead and just continue to tear this down until I get it to a size that I feel is good. So let's just kind of play around with what we want to have happen here. Doesn't have to be too elaborate. I do want a little bit of lace in there, and I do want some of this. This is another piece of that part of the digital, so I do need to make this edge irregular. Boy, oh boy, it's tough vellum. Okay, so I like to put that on top of the book page. So maybe we'll go like this instead. It's a pretty dark image. That's why our book page is not really showing up, but that's okay. So we're going to not overthink this. So I'm going to just start gluing and inking. I like to use a bit of vintage paper, like a neutral and an image from the kit to just tie it all in. And then I also like to use book pages or music pages, a little bit of textile material, whatever seems to fit. So I'll be using some of my lace from Spain as a layer or two. I'm just inking all around this because I don't know exactly what's going to show when we're done. This is very, very fragile paper. I can feel it tearing as I go. So I want to slide that under there. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because we're not going to be seeing onto the other side of that. Otherwise, I'd probably use my white glue. I am finding that my glue stick is not working for the heavy, thick vellum. So it works for lighter vellum, but not for the heavy, thick stuff that I use. My printer doesn't like the thin vellum. So I'm trying to aim for a little bit like in the middle-ish, just roughly like that. Okay. And then let's go ahead, let's put a little bit of a layer of this there. I don't want to waste this, so I'm going to be very frugal. So you can create a beautiful cluster with just a little bit of supplies. Oh, that's so gorgeous right there. So I'm going to cut this bit off at the bottom and then just kind of fray that out a little bit so it doesn't look so perfect. I'll make sure the top is doing the same. There we go. So let's go ahead and put that down. I love it. Okay. And then we're going to put that down like that, just the full length of that piece. Okay, we can secure some of those bits in a bit. And then we'll go ahead and put that piece of paper there. This is very fragile, so I'm hoping that it will hold up. I didn't realize it was so thin when I chose it. My back is a little sore. I've been sitting here all morning editing videos and getting social media ready and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to scooch that over just a bit like so. Okay, I love that. I love that sticking out. I'm not even going to do anything. Well, I might snip that just a smidge like that. Okay, so then we've got another layer of vellum, which will help really tie all that in. But I feel like we need something over here still. So what could we do there? I didn't grab any music paper from that basket and I already put it away. So, oh goodness. Okay, so we have this though. So maybe we could bring this in over here on this side. Just to kind of break that up. Oh yeah, look at that. I think that will be lovely. Let's ink that up. We're going to do two on camera here. We're going to do this vintage one and then we're going to do one of the bright and fun ones. This is from My Porch Prints, the Fussy Cut though. But I feel like, or maybe we do that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of play around with this. I don't want that to be so tall. So I'm going to go ahead and tear that off. Well, it was very straight. It was not intentional. That's okay. So, and then bringing in elements from your kits is what really makes your journal be cohesive, even when you're using multiple kits. But look at that deliciousness. I feel like this is too long down here, but now I can't really do anything about it. So I'm going to bring that down a little bit further. And then that's sticking up. So maybe we'll put something up there just to distract. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Fabri-Tac or my white glue on this because I don't want it to show through. So let me try that and see. I tried to unplug my thing. I still haven't cleaned my nozzle. I need to just soak this in water so that it stops plugging up. It's got a booger in there somewhere. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and lay that down about, what did I say? I wanted to come down a bit more, like about there. So see how that piece of vellum is going to tie in with the background of the base of the vellum. And then we'll put this right here. Oh my gosh, that's really pretty. Okay, so before we glue that down, let's see. We've got a quote. We've got a little faux stamp. And then we have this. Now I feel like this is too big now. So let me just pull over my little thing. Oh, I had a spool too. Where'd the spool go? Oh, where did it go? That's really strange. Let me see. Let's see what I can find here. We have this one. I had cut one off of this, but I don't know if it fell on the floor, which often happens. And then I find it later when I'm trying to clean up. So let me just cut this out really quick. All right, just about done with this. These were connected, but I didn't want them connected because I have a plan for how to use them to cover up that area up there, because we could put one on its side like that. Not quite big enough though. Yikesies. We could put our quote up there. That might work. I'm having trouble using this kit, to be honest with you. Like I'm not feeling these neutral colors as much as I would like to. We could also do the spools up here like that. Do a little bit of a cluster up there. I think that might be okay. Let me ink this stuff up. So, see, I don't want my cluster to come up that high. That's my problem here. I need to figure this problem out right there. I don't know if I have a bigger artboard. Let me see what I've got here. I think they're out in the other room. Nope, they're not. They're right here. I'm going to look at these creativity quotes. They are also from Sweet Pea Curiosities. So let me see if there's anything else that... Oh, these are all small. The other ones are out in the living room. Oh, we've got a big word though. This might work. Imagination. Might be a little bit big. Let's see. What do you think about that? I think that might work. I think I like that better than the spools up there. So let's see. And I feel like this is too much here on, well, maybe not if we trim that up. It's really hard to fussy cut all that business, though. I'm not sure if I'm up for that. Let's see if we have an alternative here that might work. Just creating on the fly, guys. Just trying to have a good time. So let me just take one more peek in this basket and see if anything calls my name. I'm just not sure. This is my craft room kit, so it's not all art paint kind of stuff or journaling stuff. It's everything, which is actually pretty cool, but it can make it hard to figure out what I want to do. Oh, I like that right there. I like those spools. So let's see if I can cut this out. I might cut off those ribbons. I'm not sure. I came to my senses. I'm not going to cut off the spool, the ribbon. We're gonna work around it here. We'll just ink it up. We'll just ink those middles up and call it good. It's too hard to get into all those places. So let me try to ink this and see how I feel about it when I'm done. I think it'll be okay. Just kind of grunge it up a little bit as I go as well. So ink does help with those lines where you'd expect to see a cut. It kind of makes it a little bit more nondescript. So I think that's going to work. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. Really pretty. Okay. So I think what I want to do is kind of go like that. So let's go ahead and glue this baby down. Let me see though if I want another piece of lace really quick. Where's that lace? See if I want another piece of this. That was rough. So can get kind of a scraggly piece here and kind of put it off to the side of this. So I'm not going to even really worry about untangling that at this point. I'm going to just, I'm going to need to put this down. That's the thing. Got to put it down. We got to commit here. Okay. And then we will see if we can put this somewhere. Just lifting that up to get that in there. This is a little rough. I only did one sample, so that's always makes it risky. It's hard for me to warm up. So let's see if that's straight though. We want to make sure that's straight. And I can nip off the rest of that once it's a little bit drier. I'm just looking here to make sure it's even-ish. Actually, we can go ahead and just cut. I might have to fray that out later though. We can do what we want. I keep saying that, don't I? It's been a very popular theme lately. I like that. I like that a lot. So I do feel like I need to get a little bit of glue in there though, so that I didn't really get it under that edge very much. So we'll just get a little bit of Fabri-Tac there and just give that a press. Okay. Ooh, I love that. Woohoo! And then I wanted this to go under, so I'm going to hope that I can get that, pry that up a little bit. I should be able to. Ah! I think I need to eat some lunch and get dressed and feel like a human. Okay. So I want this to go under. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's not very easy. There we go. Just going to slide it in there like so. Yeah. Perseverance is the name of the game. Get a little bit more glue here. I need to grab a paper towel. Oh, don't look at my pajamas. Oh my gosh, I love that. That is gorgeous, and it doesn't even really need anything else. So I want to put this word imagination up at the top. Okay, I feel like that can go right there, and that'll just cover up that mess. But I really like this little tree too, so I thought maybe we could get it in there as well. I think I'd like to do that. So let's just go for it. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because I am touching a little bit of lace there, and it just makes me feel more confident that it's all going to stick well. And this needs to go way over, like almost on that zipper. So I'm just going to do that and then do this. Just sneaking that little word in right there. Oh, I love that. What do you think, guys? I hope you like it too. So then I'll create some journal cards to go behind this, but this will get glued at the top and the bottom, and it will be a belly band. So beautiful things will be able to tuck behind. Now what I have noticed is I do have to kind of massage this, because the paper that I'm using, all this is 65-pound paper, so it does make things a little bit stiff. I'm just moving that down because it's on, it's showing that paper underneath. There we go. Okay, so let's do one more, guys. Hopefully this one will go smoother. I'm gonna push that stuff all off of here, and I will pick through that and get those fussy cuts back out in a moment. So this is our last one, our second one and our last one. It should go easier because these are the colors I've been really drawn to with these kits. So this is our belly band, and I think this is it is enough. Let's go ahead and do a gusseted belly band since we've got the length here on this one. So I'm going to bring over my score tool here, the cutter, and I'm going to score at 1/4 inch on either end. Okay. And that should be good as gold. Go ahead and bend that up. Okay, that wasn't very straight. It's okay. I think it's because I scored it the other way, so let me try that. Okay, there we go. Should be fine. So I'm going to start with inking this up just so we're ready to go. And again, with all of these, I'll create some journal cards. You'll be able to see those at the end of the video in the photos. I'm just limited on time. I still have one more video to record before we leave, and today's Wednesday, so I don't leave until Saturday mid-morning. So perfect. Okay, so we've got some beautiful elements here that I think are going to be a blast to work with. And a quote, and then we've got some scraps here, and we've got some book page. So I don't want it to be that big, so I'm going to go ahead and tear this down on the side, and I'm going to tear it just a little bit more, and then we'll look at the height, because you don't want your belly, but your cluster to take over all the landscape of your piece. So, in my opinion. And so by doing this, we can still see those pages underneath. I mean that vellum underneath, which is important. So let me just ink this up. Okay. And I feel like we'll put this, let's see if we've got enough of this to put it underneath here. Yeah, so let's go ahead and make a rough tear. Oh, we could go the other way, and then we wouldn't have to rough tear that other edge. So if you go like this, okay, I'm going to just tear that tip because it's sticking up. And then just kind of bring this up here so you can kind of guide yourself. And then we know that we can tear about here to bring that in line with the piece that's going to be on top of it. And oh, I used the lace that was supposed to be for this, but I can grab some more. So that's going to go there. Okay. I do need to grab another piece of that lace though. Just a moment. It's just right here. Okay. So let's see what we want to do. I do want this to be the base, so let's go ahead and get that glued on. And I do want it to kind of go to the edge there, but I'm looking top to bottom to see it's kind of centered this way, just to kind of spread the love. And then we should be able to just tear a bit off of this edge of the lace. And we can just actually put that right there without too much trouble. And I'm going to go ahead and trim this here. I save all those bits, guys. They're great for little clusters, so. Okay, so that should be fine. And then this paper can go there. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Even though this one is not a vintagey thing, it's okay. So I'm just going to put a little bit just to get me started there. Get me started there with some adhesion, and then we can add more as we move along. So that's fine. And then this one will go here. And I don't know if there's much more that's needed. So I do have more vellum. So this isn't a very big piece though. Did I have more? Did I have more? It does not look like it. That's a bummer. Oh, I have this though. I have this like ruler, which I thought was really cool. That would be perfect over on that edge. So I am going to, I'm actually going to go like this. Nope, that needs a layer underneath it. So we need to put it on top of the book page. So let's go ahead and just commit and get that down. So you see how this one's going going easier, and that's because I love the digitals. I got the My Porch prints because I think they're pretty, but it's not what I've been creating with. So I'm like, it's just not syncing with me right now. It doesn't mean that I won't use it, but it just goes to show that I have my best success when I'm using things that I am inspired by, like really, really inspired by. I can't work with stuff that's just that you're just doing it because you're doing it. Like, I'm pretty picky. If somebody asks me to use a kit, I am pretty choosy about that because I have to be inspired to create what I create. I have to be inspired by the papers. I have to be inspired by the ideas. And I'm just not feeling that inspiration for the My Porch prints right now. Now, if I start focusing on that journal alone, that will probably change, but right now that's not where I'm at. So I'm just tearing that as far as I think I need to, probably about where I stopped. I'm going to go just a smidge more, okay, and then just tear that off and ink that up. So somebody that watched the video, today's video, I think it was, they were asking about this. And so I just linked they're just the fingernail files from like when you get your nails done or whatever, a buffer. And so I just sent her a link of, a package had like 8 of them in it. I literally haven't even used a whole one yet. And I've been using these for quite a while. So it's pretty epic. So I love that right there. Look at that. Oh. Hopefully my glue didn't get mad since I didn't put the pin in it. Put a pin in it, Renee. Put a pin in it. It's not very warm out today. I didn't go for my walk because I need to go and do it later though, just to stay on track, but I have not gone yet. So then I've got this. I think this fussy cut is from Amanda from Scrimping Mommy. It's from the what was hers called? I cannot remember what the name of her kit is. I apologize. I haven't used it much yet, so for this project, but I love her fussy cuts. They're so fun. I'm just grunging that up a little bit just to tone that white down, since you can't cut every little bit. So that's our, oh my gosh, look at that. I feel like we need another strip of something in here though. I could be just overthinking that. That's almost enough. So let me see if I want to use that. I like all my edges rough unless I'm tucking it underneath. So let's just play. I don't know. It's hard to tear on that really narrow edge. Hurts my fingers. Okay, there we go. So what do we think of that? I feel like we need something else. We have more scraps over here that we could introduce. Oh, I've got this pink. I wonder if that would be a good choice. Let's take a bit of that too. It's about the same height. So let's go ahead and get a piece of this and see what we think. We don't have to use it. It's not a big deal. It'll be used for something. So if we did that, that's another layer. We'd tear that down. So let's go ahead and tear it down just so that we can visually see what might happen here. I like that. I think that's a good pop of color. I'm going to just get that edge a little bit rougher, and I'm going to ink this up, and then sometimes that helps me also know, is it going to fit with what I'm doing? You don't have to ink, as I always say. Just do what you like. I like the inking because I feel like it separates the layers beautifully, and it's bringing in that beautiful pink, which I think is lovely. And then we could also use that going right over the top of all of that. But I need to take off some of that green at the top. You don't have to do this many layers either. You can stop when you feel satisfied. And that for me is always changing. It depends on my mood. It depends on just a lot of things. I want those numbers, I think, at the bottom instead. So I think I want just another piece of lace right here, that same lace, if I can find a bit of it. I don't need much. I guess I need another piece then. I love this lace so much. Still have a ton of it left. I need to check with her and see if she's got more though, because can't run out. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I love it because you can pull it and tear it and distort it, and then it lengthens it as well. You can get a little bit more length out of it. Okay, so let's see if we want to put that right there. Yeah, I do. Covering up a little bit of that stuff on this measuring tape dealio, but that's okay. As I say in my mixed media life, you know, you have to sacrifice the layers sometimes, and that's okay too. So just gonna tap that down, grab my paper towel so I don't get sticky fingers everywhere. You can trim off that hair, or that string rather. And then we'll put this pink here. Oh yeah, look at that. I love it. Let's do it. We're nearly done. Yay. So that's really pretty. I love that. And then that can go on top if we so choose. I really do feel like that's going to be pretty. You can also stagger it a little bit. So I could go up with this a little bit and then go down with this and have it be layered like that, which I think is really pretty. Let's do that. I also find that when I do clusters, I get really frustrated if I overthink it. So my encouragement to you, and the way I started doing clusters, was I just slapped things together, and some of it I didn't like, but it was just scraps. There was no loss involved in that. Like, it's just scraps, things that are going to go in the trash anyway. And so I just played. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Love it. And you can't see that glue very well. And there's no, even though there's so many layers here, we're not getting any bulk. Look at that. It's pretty incredible. Okay, so that's that. So now we can play around with our focal image here. I thought this dress would be pretty kind of stashed behind it. So we could kind of go like that. What do you think? Yeah, let's do that. Let's not overthink it. I cut this actually from an image. It's not a fussy cut. It was like from one of a paper that I printed like multiple ones to a page and made the image smaller. So let's go ahead and pop that up there so it's touching that, the top of that book page. And then, oh, I love this. And then we do have this little face as well. I don't know if we want to use her or not. Do we want to use you, lady? Let's ink her up and see. See what we think. Because she could go like right here. Or she could come in over here. Oh, that would be pretty. Let's do that. It's hard to explain to people that are new to this how you can know what is the best. Like, you have to kind of just do your thing. I'm just going to slide that right there. Okay, and I'm actually going to move her up. And I'm going to cut off the excess. I'm just going to cut that off that edge. But as you play, you'll figure out what you like, as I always say. You can watch 100 videos, but if you never do it, you're not going to know what your style is. I love that little bit of book page hanging out there. So we're just going to put this on now and call it good. And then we will call it a day as well. So I can get on with putting some clothes on and becoming human before my husband comes home. I need to make dinner tonight. I made a pizza casserole on the weekend, so we've been eating on that this week, so I need to make something for dinner tonight. Oh, I love that. Look at that. And then we've got sewing is my passion. So I think I want to round those edges just a tad bit with the 4mm. Let's do it. And then I will bid you farewell, my fair maidens, and I will see you in the next video. So take care, my friends, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.